Now see, let us start the modes of reproduction used by single organism. This modes of reproduction is called asexual reproduction. What do you mean by asexual reproduction? Asexual reproduction means the reproduction in which a single organism take part. Reproduction in which single organism take part. That is called asexual mode of reproduction. Now, different methods are given. The first one is fission. Fission means to break down, divide into two parts. Unicellular organism like amoeba, like paramecium, okay, like leishmania, they use this type of fission. Mainly two types are there. If the organism or cell divide one into two parts, then it is called binary fission. Sometimes it divides 1 into 2, 2 into 4, 4 into 8 and so on. That is called multiple fission. Exactly what happens, as for example, unicellular animal amoeba. When favorable circumstances arise, that is called atmosphere level moisture level is increased. Okay, if moisture level is high, it increases in the atmosphere, then this is the favorable condition for reproduction in amoeba. And that's why we said that when favorable condition arises, then amoeba start to reproduce, and itself it divide from 1 to 2 parts. That is called binary fission. But sometimes what happen? Paramecium. Okay, as for example, it is said that multiple fission occur in the dormant condition. Again, dormant means inactive. During inactive condition, suppose the temperature level is high, okay, sunlight means summer season, temperature level is high, then this is the dormant situation for paramecium. Here it produces a cover. This cover is known as cyst. Under this cover, this cell divides 1 to 2, 2 to 4 and so on. Okay, this is called multiple fission. Now see, I explain you amoeba. You know that this amoeba, it's a unicellular animal. Like amoeba, it has no shape, cell, cytoplasm, right? Now, during favorable condition, they try to divide by themselves. Here what happens, this cytoplasm and cell membrane move close with each other, and the nucleus become lengthened. After some time, this cell membrane touch with each other and it divides this nucleus into two parts, and in this way one cell converts into two and both live individually. Two amoebas are formed. Okay, this is called binary fission of amoeba. binary fission. Now another unicellular animal is Leishmania. It is also unicellular animal, Leishmania. It is just like this cell, nucleus, cytoplasm, cell membrane is also there. Afterwards, during favorable condition, it creates a small crack in it. Here, the cell and the nucleus also start dividing. After this, some time, means during certain formation, it divides into two parts. And then from here they cut down, and two Leishmania live individually. This is also the example of binary fission. In this way, single parent take part, so single parent converts into two. This is also called binary fission. Paramecium, it performs multiple fission. During dormant situation or condition, dormant means inactive condition, it produces a cover, protective layer, which is known as cyst. Cyst means what? Protective layer. Inside that protective layers, one cell converts into two to four, and in this way, there is a continuous growth of this paramecium. When this paramecium or the cyst is completely filled up with the daughter animals, then the cyst breaks, and when cysts break, then this daughter animals comes out and live individually. This is called the example of multiple fission, right? So this is about fission. Now after that, there is a fragmentation. Here fragmentation Fragmentation is done in Spirogyra. It is also just like fission, but the style is different, and that's why we say it is fragmentation. In multicellular organism, remember, in multicellular, we are also multicellular animals, but here it is given in this way. Read the language and try to understand it carefully. That in multicellular organism, but relatively simple design. That body design is simple, though it is multicellular. Means more than one cell. It doesn't mean that the number of cells is just like our human being. So multicellular organism with simple body organization, reproductive method is just like this fragmentation. So we said that in multicellular organism, but with simple body organization, like Spirogyra perform reproduction by fragmentation method. Okay, so during fragmentation what happens? Suppose this is Spirogyra. Now during favorable condition, this nucleus becomes lengthened. And it divides. Okay, so it divides from here, here in this way, and then it occurs not only two part, but maybe more than two part. Each nucleus and each part lives individually, and in this way three here, as for example, three Spirogyra is formed, and all these three Spirogyra live individually. This is called fragment, means species. Fragment means what? Species. That is called species. Now after that fragmentation, there is regeneration. You have seen the regeneration of the tail of a lizard. In lizard, tail is regenerate naturally. In our body also, liver regenerate naturally if it hurt. As for example, here it is planaria. Remember, planaria is the only organism which has eye spot during evolution also. The first eye spot is ever recorded on the earth is in planaria. Now, planaria perform regeneration during reproduction. Eye spot. During reproduction, if it is divided into three parts, just like fragmentation, but here it is multicellular or advanced than the Spirogyra, so it is divided into another three parts. Here and all these three parts live individually. A small baby planaria is formed. Okay, and all these three planaria live its life individually. This is regeneration. After that, budding. A bud is formed. A small bud comes out from the parent body. That is called budding. As for example, hydra, yeast. Okay? See. From the hydra, its tentacle comes out. at the time of reproduction, what happened? A small bird comes out from its parent body. This is called bird. Slowly, gradually, by taking nutrition, this bird grow. Here also tentacle comes, and slowly, after maturation, it is detached from the parent body. From here it detached, and this bird live individually. Parent also live individually, and bird also live individually. This is called budding in Hydra. This is Hydra. In yeast, a small yeast is there. At that time, at the time of reproduction, a small bird come out, and then it is growing by taking nutrition, and after that it detaches from the parental body and live individually. So in this way, yeast also perform budding, okay, in the reproduction. Then about plant, that is called vegetative propagation. See now. Vegetative propagation. See, what is this vegetative propagation? See, many plants in which their parts like root, stem, leaves, etc., they develop into new plant. Okay, this is called vegetative propagation, but all this is done under proper condition. Condition applied. If there is a proper condition, if surrounding ecosystem and niche is proper, okay, favorable in short, then it perform reproduction and vegetative propagation starts. So, as for example, here it is given that mainly 3 parts are there. That is called cutting, layering, and the third one is grafting. Cutting. First, the plants like sugarcane, roses, grapes for the agriculture purpose, okay, they perform reproduction by vegetative propagation, means artificially. Human being can apply this type of method and produce plenty amount of yield. The first is cutting. Suppose, as for example, if you see a beautiful rose plant in your neighbor, then you think that at my home why it is not possible. So generally we try to take some tips from the neighbor that what should you do? You have done what to grow this much beautiful rose flower? But the best way is what? Cutting. Don't cut the whole plant, but take a small branch and cut it finely with a slantly and finely. If you take a small branch and then sow it into your soil, right, into your pot, whatever you have, then suppose this is the soil layer, it is a branch, and we cut it finely so that if this portion is slant portion, if you sow it into the soil, then after some time, if you watering properly in a proper sunlight, if you place it, then small hair roots comes out from it. When small root hair comes out from it, then here you can see the green leaves also. It shows that root hairs attach into the soil properly, and you will get new rose plant same as your neighbor, right? So this is the method known as cutting. What is called layering? Sometimes what happen to stop the increasing of desert area? You know that desert area continuously increase because of the wind and other calamities. So if you want to, means if the government want to stop this desert area, then they use this type of technique, that is called layering. Soil structure. Suppose a big plant, not tree, big plant is there, and take a big branch of it, long and big branch, and then suppose this is the big branch. Place the green leaves on the aerial part and bend this big branch, and here keep submerged into the soil, deep into the soil, and keep some green leaves aerial parts in the air like this. Now after some time watering it properly, after some time you will notice that this will grow. When this part will grow and new green plant, if you see, then detach from the parent plant, then you will get new plant here. Here also this way also you can submerge this big branch into the soil, okay, and you can germinate the new plant. This method is known as layering. So in this way, this technique is useful to stop the desert area, surrounding the desert area, or besides the highway, we can do this technique and to grow more and more plants. Now the third one is grafting. It is the best technique. Grafting is the best technique of vegetative propagation. Here, suppose this is the main stem, which is known as stalk, and on this main stem another branch is capped. This is known as scion. As for example, suppose have you seen sweet lime? Yes, in Gujarati it is known as Mosambi, sweet lime. It is the mixture of what? It is the mixture of lime and orange. Okay, lime and orange. See, think about sweet lime. The green color sweet lime. It is just like a lemon, but inside it the pieces is just like, the shape of the pieces is just like an orange, and the color is just like yellow, that is lemon, and that's why it is known as sweet lime. Okay, this type of newer and newer fruits and flowers also. Fruits and flowers are produced because of this grafting method. Different type of mango you have seen. You have seen hafus, kesar, langdo, badam, and many more are there. So all these type of varieties of fruits are produced because of this grafting. As for example, suppose a mango tree is there. A big and huge mango tree is there. But in this mango tree, number of mangoes are less. But the size of the mango is very good, and the taste wise also is very good. So what is our desired property? Our desired property is what? If in this type of mango tree, if number of mangoes are more, then it is beneficial for us. Now another mango tree is also there, which is not used, but it contains number of mango more. Number of mangoes are more, okay, but the size of the mangoes are small. So both are controversial. If both characteristic mixes with each other, then you will get new variety and you will get best variety, whatever you think, whatever your desired property. So main branch is taken, which is cut slantly. Take another branch from the another plant or tree and cut it slantly and try to match this branch, and now tie tightly this portion, okay, tie it very tightly, and then sprinkle the water on it, so that after some time that xylem and phloem will match with each other. If xylem and phloem will match with each other, mean veins are matched with each other, then you can get new varieties of fruit, new varieties of flower in this way. This is grafting. This technique is known as grafting. Another is given about bryophyllum. Bryophyllum is the type of plant, the name of the plant in which leaf has, leaf has small guts, okay, and in this gap or guts, a small leaf comes out. Here we can see small leaf. If this small leaf fall down, then it can grow new plant also. This is the example. Leaf arises from the leaf. So this is the different example. Name of the plant is bryophyllum. So this is the method of vegetative propagation. Okay. Afterward, the last one is spore formation. What is called spore formation? Spores are arised here. You have seen fungi like a mold on the bread, fungus. On the bread or roti, small fungus produce. This fungus penetrate their roots into the bread. These roots are known as mycelium. Okay. Then a tube arises from these roots. The tube is called hypha. On the tip of the tube, a round structure is produced, which is known as sporangium. Inside the sporangium, many spores are there. They perform multiple fission, 1 to 2, 2 to 4, 4 to 8, and so on. When this sporangium is completely filled up, then this sporangium bursts and spore comes out and fall on the bread, nearby bread. Once again, new mycelium arises. Once again, hypha arises, a tube arises. Once again, sporangium arises, and then inside this sporangium, spores multiplied, and once again, spores are formed. Okay, so in this way, slowly, gradually, the total braid is covered. This type of reproduction is known as spore formation. And artificial reproduction is also there, which is known as tissue culture. Scientists prepare and mix up many tissues and cells with crosses. They crosses with each other, and if favorable characteristics are there, and if the characteristics match with each other, not every time it is possible, but if characteristics match with each other, then it form a culture. This culture is known as previously callus. After that, this callus is transferred into the another vessel. Okay, in the another vessel, some another chemicals are there which create or cultured the new characteristic of the plant, and so that with the help of this tissue culture method, after that it will transfer into the soil, into the field. So with the help of this tissue culture method, nowadays there are varieties of plants, varieties of fruits, varieties of mangoes, varieties of rose flowers are there. So in this way we can get reproduction. This is the artificial reproduction called tissue culture. Okay. Now after that we will going to start sexual reproduction.